Hello, happy Monday. Can you believe it? It's been a whole week since I saw you last. That's better. My light's working. And it's so warm in here. It's so muggy. I've got the window open. If it gets too noisy, I'll close it. But oh my goodness, it is hot. And I am knackered. Hey, Abby. Hey, Mary. You're on your holes in Cornwall. Oh, I wish I was on my holes. Honestly, you're going to need a holiday. Unfortunately, as soon as this hard work finishes, we start a whole new hard work. Good morning, Joe. Good morning, Sylv. How was your bank holiday last weekend? I'm very sorry I didn't join you. It was a very busy weekend, but it was lovely. Hi, Wend. How is everybody? You've been enjoying the weather? It's been so lovely. We've been expecting storms yesterday, but they haven't come. But it feels very muggy today. And I have been working very hard in this attic for about 3 days. And to be fair, it only just looks like I've done anything, only just. But it's so messy. But when you have to create chaos before you get order, that's where I am, and I'm still in chaos. But today I have to work, so I've had to clear a space so that I can work, and then leave. Try not to look at the boxes and pack anything today. Oh, it's going to be difficult. It's going to be very difficult. um, how did it go? Did Ben sell loads? Yeah, Ben did really well, Abby. As with most things, a lot of the rewards come later. So it was a really good first big show. So I'll tell you all about it because it was a very inspiring, and I'm sure we've all been there as creatives. So I'll tell you all about it. But Abby came along and supported, and so did Sylv, and Helene is probably here somewhere. Had a great time down south. Came back Wednesday. Oh, nice! You had a nice extended stay. Lovely. What a beautiful part of the world the New Forest is. Absolutely beautiful. I couldn't get over how gorgeous it was, and the scenery and the drives through over the moors were just amazing. Good morning, Isabel. Working, but having me in the background. Okay. Yes, I've. Yeah, that's fine. Just I'll try not to shout or be too excited. Make you jump. um, right. So I got my coffee here. I've got a real headache this morning. I think it's the thunder coming. So bear with me if I'm a bit slow on the uptake. My head's really banging. Does anybody else get that? Like when there's thundery weather, you get a bad head. Everybody's saying good morning to everybody else. That's nice. Nice little community. Hello, Francis. Hello, Jane. So less than 2 weeks now till we move up north. You're taking part in a fairy festival in the summer. Yes, you are. Yeah. And I wonder how are you making more crowns, swords? How many swords have you got done? You missed a fab day on Saturday. Oh, I really wanted to go. There's just no way. Yeah, in the New Forest. Oh, it's so beautiful. If you haven't been before, Jane, just be prepared to be wanting to stop every 5 minutes to take photos of the amazing scenery. Isabel says, good morning to everybody. It's so gorgeous, Jane. It's so gorgeous. And the people were just so lovely. Right, so let me tell you, because I'm waffling on as if you all know. Photophobic headaches and pressure when storms are building. I get those too. Yeah, I definitely get it. It's a different sort of feeling. It's sort of all in here, isn't it? Too much heat gives you headaches too. Yeah, I was out in it all day yesterday as well because I did a car boot sale. Just to try and get rid of the last final throws of all the various things that you accumulate over the years. So random, isn't it? I looked at our table and it was just so random. It's just crazy. 11 swords and 70 frames for crowns. Woohoo! Well done, Jane. That's amazing. 11 swords. That's quite a big project as well. Have you simplified them, or did you keep them as intricate and detailed? Have you found a nice simplified method? I'd love to see them. And I'd love to see your stall as well. I'm very intrigued about the fairy festival. One day I'll get to one, I'm sure. Yeah, so last weekend, bank holiday weekend, my brother Ben, Frackett Crazy Crow, I'm sure you all know him, he did his first sort of big event, big fair. So he was invited, he was approached by BBC Gardeners World Live, because you can't, I think you have to be selected for these things. You can't just say, I want a pitch. I think there's quite a process. So it was he was really chuffed and honoured that one of these scouts had found him and said, you know, we'd like to have you at the show. Would you like a pitch? But of course, there's a big fee attached to that. So I suppose when you do big events like that, you pay for the marketing and the promotion that they do. And the fact that it was BBC Gardeners World Live meant that there was a lot of promotion and a lot of publicity for him. And they chose him to repost a few times, which was really great for his socials. And he had a pitch. So the outlay was quite expensive. I'm sure he won't mind me telling you. It was about £1,500 for the pitch, but then of course there's loads of other costs like extra insurances and transport and accommodation and van hire, all those things, lots of extra money involved, and then of course all the products you buy to create ready for such a big show, and to have a range that you're happy with. So a lot of time, a lot of money, a lot of emotional investment. And Chris and I, he was umming and ahhing whether to do it, whether it's too soon for him, whether Frackett is big enough to manage that sort of event. And Chris and I encouraged him massively. Felt a little bit nervous about that because I thought if it doesn't work, I'll feel really responsible. But we encouraged him and said that we would go and support him, because it's not the sort of thing you can do on your own. I think people do, but I think it's really hard, especially first show, really difficult to manage on your own. Just simple things like going for a wee or going to get some lunch, really difficult if you're on your own at a festival or fair like that. So we said, we'll go, we'll be there, we'll support you. So bless him. He went down and started off on his own, unpacked and set up his stall all by himself on the Thursday, and I joined him Thursday evening after our post office training, because I'm fully trained now, guys. I'm a fully trained post mistress. Well, almost. There's a in-house training, but mainly I'm qualified, so that's cool. Anyway, so I finished that, drove straight down to the New Forest, which was a beautiful drive, a bit scary at times, and Ben was pretty much a bag of nerves, a ball of nervous energy, and absolutely exhausted. I think we've all been there, where we have poured our heart and soul into something, and there was all things like he hadn't spent time with his children, and all those side things, those things that you when you think about doing a store, you think about the logistics, don't you, and the space and the products, but then there's all those other things emotionally that thank you, Abby, that take their toll as well. So not spending time with his family and prioritizing the finances to fund that show, I'm wondering whether that's going to come back. So all of that energy and fear and self-doubt and was sort of edging up to knocking the confidence, and it was sort of winning, that confidence to do it and take it and run with it and go, I'm going to do it, the balance was slowly changing. And come Thursday evening, he was so nervous. But I will say, the staff at the event staff, which were actually immediate media, which, if you remember, they actually owned Jewellery Maker for a time, and I worked with them, and they were brilliant. And so they were running the event, and the staff were absolutely phenomenal, just brilliant, so good, so supportive, so encouraging, from security through to the promotions team, the overall organizer of the show. Absolutely marvelous people, and really reassuring, made Ben feel really comfortable on his first day on his own there. And then of course we got cracking on Friday morning, and I got to say, Ben's stuff, I'm not being biased, because this came naturally and frankly from every single person, staff, visitor, that came by said that Ben's stall was probably the most standout of the show, which was amazing because it's a big show, a big garden show, garden and food. But the hosts of our Airbnb, they came down and saw the show, and they said, honestly, it was the most memorable of all the products. And now that's amazing, isn't it? If you were the creator and somebody said that to you, would you feel 10 feet tall? And he did. And he's come away feeling confident that he can push Frackit now, and his business now, and take on these big events and actually make them work for him. So he sort of broke even cash wise by selling on at the festival, but then he's got orders and commissions, and some of these commissions are definitely going to lead to more work, because there's one fella, for example, wants the inside panels of his vintage car van. I don't know about cars, but Ben knew all about what he was talking about. Wants them fracked so that they're like a statement within the van, and he takes this van to shows all over the country. And so, you know, sometimes it's not about breaking it, it's not about making the money on the at the time, is it? It's about the networks and how, you know, how that then word of mouth and people talking about his stall, and the visits to his website have shot through the roof, and his socials are doing really well. So it was such a success, not just financially, but emotionally, and for the confidence to move forward. I was so proud. I don't know how many times I cried because I was so proud, and I was so pleased he bit the bullet and did it, and like did something big. You know, his stuff doesn't belong at boot sales and small craft fairs. It doesn't. It belongs, you know, even big tables and robust chunky chopping boards and a high value individual pieces that are really statement. I mean, I think around 6,000 people must have touched his table because it was just so tactile and beautiful. So I was amazed that that didn't go, and I think it's just because it was so big and people had come to the show not expecting to go home with a table, but it was amazing. Yeah, so a real triumph. It was, Ben's stuff was awesome. I felt so proud of him, and he's not my brother. Oh, yeah, he was proud when he got that. Yeah, he was. Good morning, Marjorie. Yeah, so, you know, it was a lesson really. And, you know, Chris was saying to me, Jem, you know, you telling Ben all the advice you need to take. And I know it's easy, isn't it, to do that for somebody else. But yeah, he was absolutely buzzing when he left. When we left on the Sunday, he was brimming with pride and energy and excitement for the future. Obviously maintaining that is difficult because, you know, you get home and then there's the 4 kids and your day job, and you know, it's like, I think he came down with a bit of a bump, and I spoke to him the next day and he said, yeah, I feel a bit flat actually. But you can't live in that high state. You would function really well for a few weeks and then you'd crash, wouldn't you? So probably great to come back to earth and then build up again slowly. So yeah, so he's booked again to do it next year, and he made friends with the stall holders that were all sort of in that little cluster, and they've all booked the same pitches. So I think they'll go back next year and they'll all be together again, supporting each other, and that takes the fear out. So a real you know, a small step, what's the phrase, one step for mankind, one small step for man, giant step for mankind. So one small step for Ben, one giant step for Frackit. So yeah, he's gonna fly now. I'm absolutely certain of it. You should listen to Max, Ben, and you would learn so much. We'll be there. To Max. Oh, Max, yes. Oh my goodness, I'm so gutted. I missed that. That was at Saturday. That was Saturday at Chalmers, wasn't it, Abby? So tell me all. Tell me everything. How was it? Because he looks like a really inspiring guy and really humble. Oh, also something else I did during the show, which was a bit feel the fear and do it anyway. And I couldn't have done it for myself, but I did it for Ben. So, do you know Adam Frost? If anybody watches gardening programs or whatever, or is into their gardening, you probably know who Adam Frost is. He's like a TV celebrity gardener. Well, we were right opposite the main stage where the gardeners were talking and giving talks and signing books, etc., etc. And I said to Ben, I'm gonna get that guy over here to look at your stuff and have a photo with you, and you know, talk about your work. And he was like, oh, don't do that. You won't do that. No. By the end of the day, I'm going to do it, Ben. So all day I psyched myself up, and I kept missing him. Every time the queue went down, suddenly he was whisked off to some back tent somewhere. I thought, oh. Or every time that happened, I was engaged with a customer, so I couldn't do it. I got to the end of the day, I thought, oh, blimmin' heck, and it was nearly closed. And Ben went, oh, there he is. Look, he's off now, Jen. You missed your chance. So I thought, right, now or never. So I ran over. Ben said, he was talking to me. He said, and I turned around and all I could see was you running towards Adam Frost. So I just went up and I said, excuse me, shook his hand and said, it's been lovely to listen to him all day. And this is a bit cheeky, but if you don't ask, you don't get. Is there any chance you would come and have a photograph with my brother at his store? It's got some really unusual stuff, and I think you might like it. And he was like, yeah, no problem, mate. Because he's quite cockney, isn't he? Yeah, no problem. Yeah, sure, yeah. And he just came over and I chatted to him. I said, you'll be made up that you come in. And so he came over. I sort of, Ben said, you basically fed him to me, Gem. And then so then they ended up nattering for about 15 minutes, and Adam said to him, oh, I love your work, and I've got it on video saying that he loves his boards. The boards are beautiful. And then he took a business card for himself and he said, can I take another one? I think I've got somebody else that might be interested. So he took another business card. Ben said, take as many as you like, use them as frisbees. Which everybody found very funny. But yeah, so I managed to do that and get Adam Frost over to have his photo with Ben. So if you've seen his social media, there's a nice little video of Adam Frost looking at Ben's work and then having a photo with him. So that was great. Yeah, and brave. It was so good. Isabel says, I'm gutted I missed it. Adrian's mother went missing for a while and we had to go and deal with it. Oh, she's safe and sound, but it was very stressful. Oh, Isabel, I'm so sorry. A really difficult thing you're going through, I know. But well, I'm glad she's safe. I'm glad she's safe, and hopefully you've got some support now to ensure she stays safe in the future as well. But I take it you were booked on to Max's showcase or workshop up at Chalmers. I was so gutted. I really wanted to go. But I'm sure there'll be another opportunity in the future. Hopefully there will anyway. Right, let me have more coffee. Anyway, so we've been nattering on. So a nice bit of feel the fear and do it anyway advice for you. Like sometimes it does take a little bit of extra to just do it, and then once you've decided you're going to do it, you do. It was I had this conversation with my son last night as well, Tom. He is in the last 8 days now of his dissertation, of his university degree. Good morning, Linda. And he rang last night. Now he never rings, so now and again, yeah, birthdays and stuff. But it's rare that he just rings. So when he rang, I thought there's something, he needs something here. And so I spoke to him, and he's just completely up to here, like stressed, worried, having all those doubts, all those fears that he's not going to get it done in time, and if he does get it done, it's not going to be what he wanted. It's not going to be in to the level that he wanted, and he's trying to work out ways where he can delay. Can I store? Can I get an extension? All those things. And I said to him, but Tom, you have been like this your whole life. you know, I know him well because I'm his mother. So I know that he will panic at the last minute. He will be super focused on getting it right and be really hard on himself, and he doesn't get things first time. And but it's a pattern, but it always drives him to do it. Always. It's always been that same pattern. And I was trying to reassure him yesterday, you've been here before, you know it's stressful, you know you get anxious, but you know you pull it out of the bag. So just use that anxiety to drive you. And if you do delay, then that's what you've got to do. And it's not the end of the world. You won't graduate at the right time, but it's not the end of the world, is it? Nobody's going to love you any less or think any less of you if you need to take some help. Like, that's what it's there for. But if you don't need it, you might as well try. You might as well try not to use it, because I think that you will push towards it. And I'm very similar. It's like I get very overwhelmed with all the things I've got to do, but when I actually break it down and do it, it's not actually that bad once you start. And like packing and moving, I'm a complete stress. Chris is like, oh, we're doing really well, we're so ready, you've got loads done, oh, so cool, you're so cool. And I'm like, are you in the same house? Like, nothing's packed. He's like, Jen, we've packed loads. I'm like, but my default is like, nothing's done. And his default is like, we've done loads. So it's like, yes, we have done loads. And it's not like nothing's packed, but because there's still so much that isn't packed, it feels like nothing's packed. So I do it too. So hopefully I managed to calm Tom down a little bit and help him realize that he's been here before. We do have the tendency to panic at the thought of things. Actually doing them stops you panicking because you're doing them. So hopefully that helps. Sound advice, Gemma. Yeah, so you know, things overwhelm us, don't they? And like, if your bucket's full, you know what I mean, like you can take so much, can't you? But then if your buckets are, I'm talking in analogies, but so you know, if you've got a bucket, an empty bucket, and you can fill it up with bits of water, and you know, fill, pull it out in the rain, and it gets a little bit like this. And but then once it's full, everything spills over the top. So you have to just empty your bucket now and again, just by tipping a bit of water out or doing something that relaxes you or makes you feel like you're on top again. I'm not sure what that is for me today. Loads of nervous energy. You sound like the conversations Adrian and I have. Yes. We're just on some aspects we're so chalk and cheese. And Chris says to me, isn't it great though, Jen, that I'm not as stressed as you? Because imagine if we were both stressed. Like, yeah, I know, but I would love you to be a little bit stressed, just so that I feel reassured that you know there's actually work to do. It's like, could you just be a little bit stressed, or even just acknowledge that there are some boxes to pack? But yeah, all of a sudden you just do it. That's it. It just comes from somewhere, doesn't it? And he's like, but I'm not sleeping. I said, but it's okay. It's okay. Like, you can survive without sleeping for a few days. It's not the end of it. And I was thinking, is that really harsh? I said to him, rest when you can and work when you can. But just, you know, don't start thinking I'm not sleeping, because that's just going to stop you sleeping. And when you do get those times to relax, instead of thinking I'm going to go to sleep, just think I'm going to relax and just chill, listen to music, lie down, look at the birds, you know, go for a walk. It doesn't have to be sleep. You can relax in other ways. So stop getting stressed about not sleeping, because being stressed about not sleeping will make you not sleep. It's such a vicious circle. And I'm just rooting for him. I want him to be finished. It's like we're all actually in that point at the moment. The whole family are sort of at that point where there's these massive milestones that we're all facing. There must be something in the energy of the universe, but it seems that everybody is at that point at the moment in my circle where there's something big coming up that they have got to achieve. So actually seeing Ben do it the other day, he's been the first one to like get to his milestone and finish and feel great. So it makes me feel like, yeah, we'll all get there as well at the same time. Adrian always says, it will be fine, just stresses me more. I have 5 boxes for stock with nothing in, and I'm so panicked I've no stock. Eek. Yes, Jane, it's a panic, and it's hard to gauge, isn't it? What's going to be the most popular thing? What are you going to need more of? What are you going to take too much of? Where do you prioritize? And I suppose once you get to know a show and the clientele, you start to get, a better idea. But, I suppose we can all, because we are creators, though, we can take orders, right? So, use one to take orders. Gets done in the end. Just sounds like Chris. We're as I'm like you, yeah. Just remember, if your bucket's got a leak, you work for a little return. Oh God, yeah, didn't think about that. Mind you, I wish my bucket had a leak, because at least it'd be releasing all the time. Maybe it's a man thing. Come on, Tom, you can do it. Yeah, bless, he can do it. Take magnesium. Well, you know what, Linda, I started using magnesium on Sylvia's suggestion for my shoulder, but it didn't really work. But for some strange reason, all of a sudden my shoulder's fine again. Not fine, but like not keeping me awake and not hurting. It's really weird, just all of a sudden. But I didn't do anything. In fact, I stopped taking the supplements, and I stopped putting on magnesium, and I don't know what happened. I thought, right, it was stopping me exercising the shoulder, because I didn't want to support my weight. I was worried about doing it worse, and I just thought, you know what, I'm fed up with it. So I started doing my exercises, and then the shoulder was fine. So I don't know. It will all come together in the end, and I'm sure Tom will be fine. Just checking on him from time to time. Nothing as a deadline. Love to Tom. Oh, yeah, good advice, Wendy. That's it. Just keep sending him little messages or a song. I posted him a little prezi yesterday. Ordered him pizza, sent it to the house. Just little things, so he knows that he's got us, and we've got him. Just because I think sometimes the fear of letting people down can be worse. And I think for him in particular, that's the case. He thinks he's going to let people down. I said to him, you don't owe anybody anything. He's done university on his own. He's not had any handouts. He's never asked for any money. Never. He never comes and brings all his washing or bums out for a few days here. Never. He's never asked for it. I said, you've done it all by yourself. It's only you that will feel the effects of whether you finish or take an extension. It's only you. So don't worry about anybody else. Just booked a pop-up shop for the day. Yes. Ooh, I've just booked a pop-up shop for the day. Whereabouts? Sylv, I will tell him. David says you can do it. Yeah. Oh, I will give Tom your love. Mary, many years ago when I was stressed doing my degree, someone said to me, do you think your tutors are stupid or evil? Because if they let you carry on when you can't do it, they would need to. Many years ago when I was stressed doing my degree, someone said to me, do you think your tutors are stupid or evil? Because if they let you carry on when you can't do it, they would need to be. Sorry, Mary, I've missed the end. I'm intrigued though. Will it scroll down? Yeah, it's just a lot. They put quite a lot on at the end. It all comes in the end. And of course, nowadays, yeah, and Tommy has to work. He can't just not work. He hasn't got the income, so he works on the weekends, and he still tries to have a social life. Perhaps he maybe he's thinking he probably should have had a bit of less of a social life for the last few months. But you've got to live, haven't you? Aren't you so lucky? I was owed this 20,000+ and he's still borrowing at 35. Oh, well, if you've got it, if I had it, I'd give it him, but I just haven't got it. So he can't borrow it because I haven't got it. You find magnesium works when you least expect it. Not sure how that works. Just noticed the pain's gone. In the garden of a gift shop called the Pack Horse near Seal, Tongham. Ooh. In the garden of a gift shop. Oh, that sounds nice, Linda. That sounds like a very nice little pop-up shop. Lovely. Lovely. Soon I'll have a whole shop. 2 weeks. This time in 2 weeks. oh my gosh, this time in 2 weeks, we'll have moved in and hopefully have unpacked most things that we need to live. And yeah, we'll be standing in our shop thinking, this is our shop. Luckily, it's all stocked, because I think I'll suddenly go, I don't know what to buy. When you can do it, they will know he can do it, or they have stopped him earlier. Yeah. 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 Yeah, I see what you're saying, Mary. It's a wooden hut. Oh, cute. Like a German market style thing. That's nice. Neither have we, but all my collector's bits are being gradually sold. Oh, well, you know, you do what you do for your kids. It's up to you, isn't it? You know, if you are happy to do it, great. And you know, lucky for your son. Did you say son? Oh, son or daughter. Well, you know, if I had it to give to him, I would. If he needed it, but he doesn't. You know, he's found ways of coping without. So, neither have we, but all collective. It's yeah, you'll do it. Yeah, he's my stepson. Oh wow. Well, I'm sure he very much appreciates the support, Joe. You know, that's what you can think. Like, at least, you know, you've been able to help and support him. That's a really lovely thing to be able to do, isn't it? It's nice to know that you've had a hand in supporting a life. Right, so what have I got to type? So is anybody going to vote? I wasn't going to be here this long, but I feel I was thinking, oh gosh, I haven't got energy today, but here I am talking to you. Loads of energy. I'm feeling better. Thank you. Thank you very much for letting me just tell you everything good, because sometimes you get stuck in like all the things you got to do and you forget actually some really great stuff recently. Let's get cheerful. Yeah. Yes. Right then. Is anybody going to vote? 6. Wendy wants a 6. Excellent. And whilst you're voting, I'll show you what I got on for this week. Mary, you would like a 1. No problem, Mary. Jane wants a 2. Frances wants a 2. Marjorie wants a 4. I've nearly packed everything away, so like I'm hoping that whatever is in the box that gets picked, I've actually got around. Otherwise, we might have to do something else. We'll go with second best until we finally get what we need. 4 for Marjorie. I think I did that. I did that one. 5 for Abby. I'll show you in a minute, Abby. A 2 for Linda. Right, any more? So yeah, so tonight for Charmers. So I'm on Charmers Gems live tonight on the a wish. Made it. I'm on Charmers, a 2 for Linda. I did that one. Charmers Gems live Instagram tonight. I'll be there. I've got some absolutely gorgeous sort of flattish tumbles. So Marie selected all these gorgeous tumbles, but they're all sort of flattish. So it means that you can, you know, use them like a cabochon, but you have to sort of be a bit more try and use them like cabochons, but you've got the options. They're really lovely, and because they're tumbles, they feel so organic and yeah, lovely, rustic almost. So I have a few things. I got this one around my neck. These are really cute. These are fluorites, and they are, can't remember what they call the shape, but they're like double pyramids, and they're not perfect. They're not like geometrically perfect, but they're really nice. They're sort of frosted, so and there's a beautiful rainbow through that one. I don't know if it's going to let you see it, but it's absolutely gorgeous. There's lovely sort of bands of purple through that green, and they're really lovely. They feel lovely. They feel sort of very natural. So I've sort of thought about ways of caging these. So I've got this to sort of show you this evening how to create this little cage that you can then pop these in. Really, really good value as well, those. So all of the items are amazing value. So there's that. And then turquoise. Oh my goodness. Pieces of turquoise like this. So we've got two qualities. One's smaller and paler, larger and paler. You get packs of two, and the other is darker, and mainly smaller. But you know, again, it's a random selection. So you see this one's a little bit paler. I don't know if you can see that from further back. So two different qualities, both amazing. But I got those for this evening. And with those, so here's one I've just set with wire. Here's one I set with wire. This is a bit more elaborate. And then this one, because I'm teaching a milliput workshop on Friday, so I thought, well, I'll combine and I'll do a bit of milliput as well with this, because milliput is perfect for irregular shapes, because it doesn't really matter. You can house anything in milliput. So I've made this bangle, which I'm really loving. So I've got this beautiful piece of turquoise here, and what I did is I've carved into the wood to give me a bit of a depth, 6 for silver, and then I have built up around it. So I've embedded the gemstone, and then I've built up around it with the milliput to sort of keep everything in place, and then allowed me to put some patterns in there as well. It's lovely, Linda, isn't it? I really like this. So it's wood, and I've got lots of lovely tips. I've done a little video of this, so you should see that later, of how I've made it. But yeah, it's I'm very, very pleased. It's definitely something I'll be doing a bit more of. So yeah, it looks ancient, doesn't it? I'm very pleased with it. You see the copper all around. So yeah, so pleased with this one. It's my favorite. It's this week. It's on Friday, and it'll be my last workshop for a little while, because obviously I'll be moving and busy and setting up my new studio, which I will keep you involved with, by the way. Yeah, so it's a really, really chunky. Oh, what a look! I love it. So that's staying in my personal collection. So it's all milliput. No, Linda, it's a wooden bangle. It's a wooden bangle that I've created a groove in with my Dremel, and then embedded. So because I didn't want it to be too raised, so I just set it back. You don't have to. You could have it raised, more raised, and just put milliput on top and then go in for it. But yeah, no, it's a wooden bangle that I have carved, set the gemstone into milliput, then carved and created the milliput sort of detail patterning, and then here I've covered my bangle with a copper tape. So just a tape, but it's actually a really good, it's almost like plating. It's like copper plating, because it's a sticky tape, and it is real copper, so it will patina and age, and you can exactly the same way, but it gives it that gorgeous effect. And then I've just done some sort of black edging round to age it, and I still have to seal this, so I will be varnishing it, but that's it. It's very, very nice, easy technique. Get your skates on, Wendy. Yeah, so yeah, so I'll talk you through the rest of the gems, and I'll tell you about the milliput. So what else have I got? I've got a pack of mixed jaspers, which are really lovely. Yes, yeah, it's clever, William, isn't it? I like it. It's one of those things I think, oh, that's cool. I can make things look copper without them actually being, but they are actually copper, but not all the way through. It's like copper plating. So yeah, mixed pack of jaspers. Who've got like this, it's like a Miriam jasper type thing. I've got all the names. I'll show you properly later. A rainbow jasper, which is really cool. It's mainly red, but it's got all different colors through it. You see how lovely they are. Beautiful, like big tumbles. I shall be on the milliput workshop. Yes, Sylv. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Number 6 for Isabel. Then dragon blood or bloodstone sort of jasper. Dragon. Oh, I'll tell you all the names swatch properly later. But beautiful, beautiful, big, flat pieces. Lovely. This is a nice one. Lovely poppy jasper. One of the first gemstones I ever bought. And then I also have this gorgeous purple opal. So these are lovely. These purple opals, very, very unusual. And again, I will tell you a bit more about them later. So purple opals, and then green amethyst. No, green garnet. So again, some other ways of setting the green garnets, just like simple ways. So lots of ways to set these gems in more irregular fastenings. So I'll be just talking through some of them and demonstrating some of them this evening. So I'll demonstrate this one, this interesting technique with creating little holes. And then I've got this beautiful quartz. Again, it's a again, I can't remember the name. I'm so bad. I haven't done that bit of prep for today yet. But yeah, it's got amazing properties, this. I'll tell you about it later. And then this one as well, which is the poppy jasper, and I will probably demonstrate this one too tonight. So a nice simple caging technique. So loads of lovely things for you this evening. That's just a few. There are others as well, but I think the highlight is definitely that turquoise. It's amazing, and these fluorites, which are really, really cute and extremely affordable. So that's for this evening. But yeah, Milliput. So the Milliput workshop, it's called, what did I call it? Introduction to Milliput, or Exploring Milliput. Exploring Milliput. And funnily enough, I met a gentleman yesterday at the boot sale, and I noticed he had a lovely bangle on, and I said to him, "Oh, I like your bangle." And he said, "Oh, I made it." And so then we talked for ages, and he makes the molds for his silver and pewter work with Milliput. See, he sculpts with the Milliput and then makes molds. So I was like, funnily enough, I'm teaching a Milliput workshop on Thursday. So yeah, we had a good old chat, and that is interesting because I don't ever meet people that know much about Milliput. So it was cool. So Milliput. So you can do all sorts of Milliput. It's an amazing material. So on Friday, it will be, if you've never worked with it before, ideal for you. If you've worked with it before, you might find some new ways of working with it or explore its potential a bit more. So exploring Milliput, Friday 10 till 4. The whole day is £40, and it covers the following: mixing, because that's the important stage, the properties at each stage of the Milliput, because that is the bit that people don't necessarily know about, and you can try and get results that you won't achieve if you don't understand how each stage works within the Milliput curing cycle. And so I'll talk you through that and tell you which projects work at which stage, so that you can sort of plan your projects out. I'll be showing you how to create Milliput beads, how to create Milliput pendants just using that pure Milliput, how to embed wires so that you can create connectors, how to add texture pre-cure, so pre the setting process, how to add textures, how to embed gems and cabochons, how to do free form molding, and again that plays heavily into how to work with it at different stages, how to use molds, because you can use molds, you have to be careful what you can, and then how to apply micas. And then towards the end of the workshop, you will have some pieces that are ready for finishing. So I will then take you through how to finish, polish, buff, shine up, paint, add color or to your pieces. I'll also show you how to add texture post cure, because you can do that too. And then and then sealing and finishing. So I'll talk you through some of that. So you will have a few pieces that might be ready for those treatments, but obviously you'll want to know all that so that when yours are fully cured, you will be able to do it yourself. So lots to explore. I'm very excited. Milliput features heavily in my next sort of, in my collection of jewelry that I have in my brain that I can't wait to start with, because I now I'm going to create collections to sell. So taking my own advice that I give my brother and create what's in my brain rather than what's necessary to teach or to demonstrate. So yeah, so my own collection is mainly up here at the moment, but Milliput will allow me the creativity I need to pull off some of the looks I want to achieve. So I'm excited to get into that. I've got this is like an example of Milliput setting a cabochon. The light's bright, isn't it? That's the sun. So this is a nice orthoceros cabochon set with Milliput. And then, you know, components. I did a workshop on faux bone, making faux bone components for like quite tribal jewelry. So here's a few that look a bit like bone. And then you can even do really fine sculpting with it. It's very strong. It's much stronger than clay polymer. Much more durable. It can go outside, so it's great for sculptures that are gonna, you know, be exposed to the elements. Yeah, she's not finished. I keep looking at her thinking, what shall I turn her into? Shall I have her as a necklace? Shall I have her as a brooch? Shall I put her into something larger? I don't know. Anyway, right, Abby, I've totally forgotten how to use it. Yes, well, good. A nice refresher then. You'd like to make a wand and set an amethyst point in the top. Yeah, well, I definitely cover that sort of thing. I do have, where's the bits and bobs I've got for this evening? So I didn't want to do a big wand project because I thought I won't do that this time because I haven't got time. But this is actually set. This one of these little points was set with the Milliput, and I've just done it. I don't know what it is, like an acorn or a bit of wood or something. It looks like a bit of wood. It's hard to see it, isn't it, because of the sun. Let me see if I can close that blind. Take the glare out. I've had to open the window because it's too warm. There you go. That's better. So yeah, that sets that little cabochon in there. Very, very quick and simple. So yeah, that, you know, that could be an amethyst point in a wand, no problem. You could just extend it. So yeah, so I'll talk to you about armatures and things like that as well on the Friday. But yes, book a spot. It's going to be a busy day. I think there's a fair few people in there, and it'll be lovely. Just, it's very playful and it's very addictive. So in the description, Abby double check this with me actually, in the description it says you need a tube of Milliput, and I said buy 2, not because you will get through 2 on the day, you might, and if you've got 2 it won't limit the potential for you creating bigger things, but the reason I say get 2 is because you will immediately have so many ideas once you do 1 or 2 things that you will want more to play with. So the reason I say get 2 is not because we'll use 2, we'll need 2 on the day for the workshop. It's just that you will definitely want to explore and play more. So yeah, so that's Friday. So hopefully many of you will join me on Friday. I know a few of you had signed up. Sylv, Wendy, Lynn, Jane, are you signed up for that one? Abby, I don't know. I think it clashes with another workshop for some people, so I'm not sure if you're there, Isabel, but you would love it. So hopefully you will be. Yeah, so that's Friday. I'm very excited about that, and it's my last workshop for a while as well. So can you recommend colors to start with? I would say the white is the best to start with, because you can color it, you can make it any color you want. So I like working with the white. Also, it doesn't stain your fingers, so there's that benefit to it, and its properties are more consistent. So I've just started using black as well, because I thought I'll have a go with the black, and I like the black too. It's just very difficult to mix. It's much more tricky to mix than the white, but it's nice to have a mix. And I think black, I have some idea for cloisonne mini mosaic style pieces, and I think the black will be a better base for showcasing my wires and things like that. So I've gone with that. But you know, that's the sort of things we will discuss on the workshop anyway. You're traveling home on Friday. Oh no. Belle's on it, is she, Abby? She's partying. She's in Ibiza, is she? Yeah, Jane, I can't wait. I bought 7 tubes. Yay! Yeah, I've got all mine ready. I got my pile of things in the far corner of things that I cannot put away just yet. And I got my basics at my feet. You know, they're just here. Wires, basics, toolkit, basics. Everything else has got to be packed today. So, yeah. Where did you get Milliput from? Isabel, I got it on Amazon. I think I might put a link in the description. When you download it, when you buy the workshop, you get a description. But I got mine on Amazon and get it all. And it is cheaper to buy a 2-pack, for example. So that's what I did. Yay, Wendy, Sylv, Abby, Isabel, Jane, wicked. It's going to be a great day. I can't wait. So that's all. Yeah, that's Friday. But let me see. Any more votes before I dip in to do this mini make tutorial, if I got the stuff? Because I might not have. You're welcome, Isabel. You bought yours from Amazon. Yeah. Yeah. It's the easiest, and it, you know, arrived quickly. That's the great thing as well about Amazon, isn't it? I know we have some problems with it sometimes, but I suppose acrylic paint is the best for it. Yeah, I mean, yes, acrylic paint's great. It's very versatile, but there are other things you can color it with. I'll go through a few, but yeah, acrylics, generally craft acrylics, my go-to for applying most color. But yeah, again, I will go through all of that stuff on the workshop. Yeah, it'd be great to see you guys Friday. Yeah, it's gonna be nice, isn't it? It's gonna be a really nice. I'm really looking forward to it. It's gonna feel like a day off for me. I know I'll be busy teaching you guys, but it will feel like a day off. Right, let's have a look then. So the box, if nobody's going to do any more votes, it looks like box number 6 is the winner at the moment. Last chance. Box number 6. Oh, there it is. Oh, nice one. You chose a ring. This is nice, isn't it? So this one's got what is this? Garnet. So this is a ring with garnet in. This one's been made with sheet metal that I've cut to shape. But I'm pretty sure I've been good with this one. I have put a little cabochon ready in there, so that's good. So I've got a little turquoise, but this will work with any sort of flattish, so like a puffy coin or a little cabochon, or what else could it work with? A flat oval, anything kind of flat. I'm not sure. I think it might be the shoulders might be a bit too raised if you're using a round, but there's nothing to say you can't try that, because the technique is just about tensioning things together so that the bead can't slip out or the cabochon can't slip out. So I'm going to go with a flat cabochon, because this is the best thing to use for this, if I don't lose it, for this style of ring. And instead of cutting a strip of copper or silver, if you want to work with silver, I am going to use some flat wire. So flat, this one work. A wire, like a tape. So this. I've got copper down here. No, I'm going to go with this. So this is a metal tape. It's a bit chunky, this, so it's not ideal, but again, save me rummaging through all the box. This one will do for the technique I can show you, but you can go with something a bit finer, and you can go for wider, narrower. It doesn't matter, it's just the scale in proportion to the stone you want to use would make all the difference. So let me bring the camera down to the desk. So I'm going to pop that there, and then I'm just going to cover this up while I move, okay? So I don't make you dizzy. And I have to remember, is it upside down, this one? That way? Yes, it's that way. Okay. Oh, sorry. Just got to sort of. There we go. That should do us. Let's bring that over the van. Oh, hello. That was a bit close, wasn't it? Oh, come on. Stay put. Right, hopefully that's going to stay. I won't fiddle with it too much now. Right, so I've got some wire here. I've got a ring mandrel, luckily, just there. And my little cabochon and this flat wire. So I'm just going to release some of this wire. Now, this technique involves a bit of folding. I'm just going to use these cutters to cut it. It's naughty, don't tell me off, Sylv, but these are my old ones, okay? So that's what I'm doing. Sylv tells me off for using the wrong pliers all the time. Okay, so a bit of guesswork. We want to make a ring. It's going to be slightly adjustable, so we don't have to be perfect with the sizing because you will have this opening at the back. So basically what we do is we make the ring and then we fold the wires back on themselves to come up to form the shoulders. We scroll them back and then we link everything together with a wire, and the wire holds the shoulders together, which stops the gemstone from being able to come out. So it's nice and simple. So I have to go to catch a bus. I'll catch you later. Bye all. Bye, Mary. Have a lovely day. Enjoy Cornwall. And hope the weather stays lovely for you. Okay, so that's how it works. So we're going to go about doing it now. So I'm just going to, so if I think about the size of the ring I want probably just over double that to start with. So you can do that by taking a piece of wire around, got a scrap piece here, around your ring mandrel at the size you want. So say I want that size. If I take that round twice, you can do this with a tape measure if you wanted as well. Take that round twice, just kind of hold that there and then unravel it. You can see I probably need that much, and then give yourself an extra sort of centimetre. Okay, so roughly we can make adjustments and then cut that down. Okay, so then I'm going to find the centre of this and pop it to my mandrel, and I'm not going to form it fully yet. I'm just going to give myself an idea of where I need to put my bends. Okay, so I'm just going to fold that round, trying to make these ends even, so they're not even. So what we can do is unfold one and fold the other in until we get them sort of level. Okay, so make sure it's in the right place in the mandrel, and because it's flat wire, obviously it's gonna, you can't just go like that, because otherwise we'll end up with a sort of a wonky ring shank. So just pinch the two ends together like that, and then we've got to this stage. Okay, so I'm going to just pop a little mark just because if this went all the way around they would join. So I'm just going to pop a little mark at each side at about the point that I want to bend it. And remember, it's an adjustable ring, so it won't matter if you're slightly off. This is just to help us get central. Okay, and then I'm going to take some flat pliers. This is when I realise I haven't got everything ready. Where are you, flat pliers? here they are. Okay, some flat pliers. And where I've put that mark, I'm just going to pop my flat pliers along that mark and then bend, pushing my wire against my pliers to get a nice sharp bend. Okay. This is plated copper wire. It's not aluminium. That's why it's a little bit tougher. Hello, Leslie. Oh, you are really late today. That's all right. You're here now for the demo. It's a plated copper wire, this one, so it is quite tough. It's not ideal for this project, to be honest, Linda. It's just that it's what I've got to hand. So this is probably about 0.6 millimeter thick, and so it's quite tough. And then the width is 5 mil, so it's you know, it will be a very sturdy ring, but you could go narrower and thinner. Okay, so I'm going to do the same the other side. So take my pliers and create a nice straight line with my pliers and then bend against the pliers. So bend against the pliers like that. So we've started off the design. Now we can open this back up to do the next bit. So now I want to fully close this. So I'm just going to use my fingers where I can just to fully close it and make sure when it closes, the wires line up. Because if your angle is slightly off, it will be off to the side, and then it would be like that, and we don't want that. We want it lined up like that. So best to do it with your fingers first. Just check that it's lined up nicely, and once you know it is, you can then take your pliers and give that a good pinch down to get that secured. Okay, so pinching across, making sure that that is really pinched nice and tight. And then we do the same with the other side. I'm just going to lift this up out the way, and then I'm going to do the same with this side. So push it down with your fingers to make sure that the wires are lined up. Once they're lined up, take your pliers and finish that bend off by pinching it very firmly on the ends to make it almost like one piece. Okay, so now we can take this back to our mandrel and we can shape it around the mandrel where we want it. Now it's always a better idea to shape it smaller and then stretch it out. Okay, so shape it a bit smaller up on the top there, and you'll find, can you see it's not quite sitting? So you will probably need to get your, I find this is probably easier on a sandbag. So get your sandbag, pop your mandrel onto it, and then we're just going to tap down onto these ends. And I would recommend using an acrylic hammer to do that, so that we don't mark the wires. Okay, so now we've got them sitting onto the ring mandrel. Okay, and then we can stretch that down to the size we want the ring to be. Okay, we're halfway, and then we're going to push these wires, these ones that are sticking out, around. Let's get this bit further up. Stretch these out around so that they are sitting like shoulders, and we want that to be directly opposite the opening for the ring. Okay, now you can see that my ring is still not quite sat properly there, so I'm gonna help it with my nylon pliers. So I'm just gonna hold on the ends, and I'm just going to turn those ends inwards slightly, so just forcing them to sit inwards a bit more. Okay, and you can take your time shaping that as much as you like to get it perfect. So it's just a case of repeating, putting it on the mandrel, tapping it into place until you're happy with the shape. All right, and then we're going to come to the point where we put the cabochon in. So my cabochon, I want to sit in the center, and I need to scroll these two ends so that they sit like next to the cabochon. You can see in there. So I'm just going to have a think how much I need to leave to then roll down. So I think I probably need to trim a little bit off the edge, off the ends of those, and this can be trial and error. So if you don't want to commit to cutting, roll it, see how far off you are, and then cut it. But I think I probably just need to take a little bit off the edge of each of these. Again, making sure that I'm central. So that's not quite central. Right. And this is going to be tough because the wire is really thick. So I'm going to now use my bail making pliers. I'm going to use the thinnest mandrel. You might have, even better than these if you've got them, are the ones that are just this size, you know, the whole mandrel. Then rather than 6-step, it's just that size and that size. So it's a small mandrel you need for this. And then I'm going to roll. So grab a hold and roll it into the tightest little loop you can manage. Like that. Okay. And then the same on the other side. And like I said, probably better if you used a thinner wire, a thinner, you know, tape than I've got here. Okay, so I've got my 2 little scrolls. And just again, just by eye, just check that they're level and equal, and then we can make little adjustments, pushing them into place like that. Okay. And then also it might be a nice idea now to just close those up, because that was quite tricky to get them. So I might just come in with my nylon pliers and just close up those loops. Okay, so let's put it back on the mandrel a minute before we put our stone in, and just give everything a little tap all the way around to ensure that it's all right. And like I said, again, do this on the smallest size you can manage on your mandrel, and then allow it to move up to stretch it out. So we're going to go in here. I'm just going to tap all the way around, including onto the prongs. Okay, so that's now coming nicely into shape. And then we just check that our cabochon fits in there. And ideally, our cabochon will sit in, and when we push those prongs in together, they sort of catch onto the edges of the stone. So without me putting anything else in, that stone won't lift out of there because the scrolls are sort of holding it. Okay. So that's working all right. So now we want to create something to go in there. So I want to create, we could use an oval so that we mimic the stone, which would be nice. Or we could use a square shape, like this one's square because it's mimicking that square shape that I've got in, that cushion shape. But I'm going to go an oval, I think, for this one. So what we want to do here, this might actually be quite tricky with an oval. So I've got some wire. I'm just picking up scraps that are hanging around. Probably too thick. Let's try this one. Luckily, I have scraps everywhere. Let's go with this one. This is the 1 mil, 1.25 mil wire. So firstly, just check that your wire goes through there, because we need it to be able to go through. And I think I need to pop those prongs down a little bit more as well. So what's going to happen, I'm going to put the wire through like this, and it's going to cinch it together. But if you can see that if that's too high, then my gemstone can still slip through. So if I put my gem in there and pull that in, if it's too high, it would still be able to slip. So if it was up higher, that gemstone could still slip through. So we don't want that. So we need these prongs to be perhaps a little bit lower to the surface. So we can do that by, if we pop that there, I pop that onto my, and then hammer the back. We should be able to just get them to settle down a little bit lower. Yeah, just slightly, but I think that'll make all the difference. Okay, so we now look at this and we think we need to create an oval jump ring basically, and we want it to be to fit the to go around the gemstone. So I'm just going to by eye think this is the sort of size I want. Okay, so if I look at the mandrel to create that, it's going to be, let's have a look here. I put it on, it's going to be this one. Maybe that's a little bit big, but we'll go for that and try it, and we can always adjust. So I'm going to make an oval jump ring. So I'm going to pull it around like that, and then just move it along slightly and pull the other side around like that. So we just make an elongated jump ring. And then I'm going to trim the wires. And now I am not going to trim them flush. I'm going to let them overlap slightly so that I'm using the wrong one. So they just cross over slightly. All right. And then I'm going to open it up like you would a jump ring. And I'm going to feed it through. Okay, and before I do the rest, I'm going to pop the gemstone in like that. And then see if I can feed it through. So now I'm going to have to pull this slightly open so it breaks all the rules of jump rings, because you're going to have to open it up and get it into, slot the wire into that hole. So just pull it, prise it open, and then put it back in. Let's get our gemstone sat back in there. So, and then once it's in, then push from either side, and then we can gently, so that's that. Actually, that's done. That was a bit easier than I thought it would be. So now we can, to help it just really be snug, we can just gently tap one side, tap the other side, get that sat into place like that. Okay, now you can go through and do a couple of layers like that, so you can have extras in there. It's got a bit of movement, so I would be tempted to just keep tapping that a bit more, just so that that gemstone can't move as much. You can also add a little bit of glue on there just to keep it a bit more secure. So you could glue the cabochon in place and then do that, but that will hold. It can't move, it can't come out because the wire is stopping it, but obviously to be double secure, you can add a bit of glue. Okay, so I think I'm just gonna tap these in a bit more. That's better. And it's just tweaking now until you're happy with it. Yeah, there you go. And there's your ring. And it's slightly adjustable, so you can open it to put on other fingers. But that's the concept. Now you can do that with a square jump ring instead of an oval. You can do it with a round one, but the round has to be quite big. So and the gap would have to be quite big. So you just have to play it by ear with what you've got. But that's how you do it. So you take the wires double them back on themselves, create the shoulders, and then use those shoulders as a way to sort of fix and tension it all together and hold your gemstone in place. Okay, there you go. There's your little demo today. That wasn't so bad. I was thinking, oh no, I'm not going to be able to show you anything because I'm so unorganized. But it works. I did it. And you got a demo. Put you back there. Oh, you're a bit low. There we go. Good. I'm glad you enjoyed that one. That's quite nice, actually. I might put that one on. When I've been sorting, I found the ring I made. That's Postman. Willow's going to start liking Postman, isn't she? So I find this ring that I made, silver clay, black diamonds. Willow, shush. Time to go. She's obviously, that's it, Mum. Your time's up. Yeah, so I found that one. So it's lovely what you find when you're sorting out, isn't it? I was really pleased. So yeah, we got a little ring. Right. Everybody, hopefully I'll see you this evening in Chalmers Gems for the demos and the sale of all the beautiful gemstones that I've been given to work with this week. I probably also reveal what I've got for next week so you can get your thinking caps on, because I actually have it here. Zig is barking back at Willow. Yeah, we started a chain reaction. And then for many of you, I'll see you on Friday for the very exciting Milliput workshop. And hopefully by Friday, I'll be far less stressed and have far more done in this workroom. But for now, I will wish you a lovely, lovely rest of the week. And I hope the sun stays shining and you all take on something that scares you a little bit. And remember that it actually helps to have a bit of fear and anxiety to keep you pushing through. Okay, see you all very soon, my loves. Bye.